All right, hello whoever's watching this video. This is the first day of the review for the semester final. We will have 3 days of review. And Olivia's back there looking at how many questions there are. How many questions are there?
Approximately
40 questions. All right, so here's some logistics of the test, right? There are 40 questions on the review. On your test, there will only be 35 questions, okay? I've limited it down. There's only 35 questions on the test, so 5 of the questions that are on the review will not be on the test, okay? But I don't tell you which 5 I leave off. Now, out of those 35, you only need to answer 30, okay? So you only need to answer 30 questions, okay?
Why did you take 5?
I don't know. I just took 5 off to make it shorter because usually you guys run out of time. So I took off 5 questions at the end because, 30 questions, it seems like you should be able to get through that pretty fast. But usually I have a lot of...
And we still take 15 minutes.
Yeah, right. So, yeah, anyway. So, you only have to answer 30 questions. Now, what if you answer all 35 and get all 35 right? You get 105% if you answer all 35 and get all of 105 right. If you answer 35 of them and get 30 of them right, you get 100%, okay? So that's how this works, all right? And I'll explain that all again come test day. So there are 40 questions. We're going to go through this review over the next 3 days, which means we have to get how many done per day? Next 3 days, that's what I mean. 40 questions done over 3 days is about how many? 11? Are you sure?
No.
I think it's like 13 something, okay? So we'll try to get 13 or 14 questions done per day. Got it? Okay? All right. So let's just start at the top. Chapter 0 was the first chapter that we did. On the test, these numbers will not be in order, right? These go by chapters, but on the test it won't be the same, quite the same order, all right? All right, state the domain and range of the relation below, then determine whether or not it is a function. So they're wanting domain, they're wanting range, and then they're wanting yes, no, is it a function, okay? I'm going to, and you do whatever you want, but I'm going to list out these coordinates. Can I do that? Here's where the x-axis is, here's where the y-axis is. Let's list out these coordinates maybe.
1, 1.
Okay, I'm going to start with this left one over here. This is -4, -3. It doesn't matter, whatever order you want to go in, but I'm just going to make sure I get everything, okay? -4, -3 is one of them, okay? -2, -1 is another one. That's this one.
1, 1.
I'm going to go -2, +2. Doesn't matter. -2, +2. Okay? We've got 1, 1. We've got 2, -1. And we've got 2, +3, I think. Yeah? Okay, so let's list out the domain. Domain is listing out just what the x's are. Okay, so what's your smallest x? We got to go in order.
-4.
-4. Okay, next.
-2.
-2. Next.
-2.
We don't have to list it twice.
1.
1. Okay, then
2.
2. And that's it, right? We don't have to list the numbers that repeat twice, okay? Range.
-3.
The smallest one is -3. Okay, the next one. -1. Okay. 1 and then, is it there 2 in there? 2 and then 3. There we go. 2 and 3. Okay. Is it a function? Yes, no?
No.
Why not?
Because it repeats twice.
The x's repeat. Now, if it was the y's that were just repeating, which, yeah, the y's do repeat. But if that was only the y's that were repeating, this would be a function. But the x's don't repeat. Also, if you look at the graph of this, it doesn't pass the vertical line test here, and it doesn't pass the vertical line test here, right? Because it has the same x coordinate for those, right? So you can look at that and say that as well. So that's answering all the questions on number 1.
So if the y's repeat,
if the y's repeat, it's no big deal. If the x's repeat, that's when it's not a function. Okay? All right, number 2. We've been doing this all along. Number 2, how do you do that? FOIL, right? All right, FOIL. First piece is 4n times n.
squared. 4n
Okay.
squared.
Plus 8
Yep.
-3
-6.
Okay, and the last thing, I put the middle 2 pieces together.
Squared was 5n -6.
Perfect. There you go. Okay, beautiful. All right, now we're getting into the probability stuff, okay? So number 3 says the cheerleading squad is creating posters for the state game. They have 3 different colors of poster board. Okay? 3 colors of posters. Okay? They have 5 different markers. Okay? And they have 2 colors of glitter. How many different posters can be made? Assuming they're saying the same thing, right? So maybe I want to use the blue poster board with the black marker and the gold glitter. That's one combination. How many total are there?
So we just multiply all of them.
Don't just multiply them together, right? 3 times 5 times 2 is 30 combinations. Okay? Do you see how that works? 30 different combinations. Okay. All right, number 4 starts us off kind of in a list format. Sarah has a jar of 8 chocolate chip cookies. Anytime they start me off in a list, I just write them down to the side. So 8 chocolate chip, I'm going to do CC. 6 sugar, I'm going to do 6S. 5 monster. 8 or 9 oatmeal raisins, so I'm going to do OR. And that's it, right? Those are my 4 different flavors. I know that they're probably going to have me add them up or total them up. How many is that?
45 plus.
No.
Add them up.
Yes. Oh.
You're multiplying.
28.
28, I believe. Yeah, 28 total cookies in this cookie jar. All right, she's selecting 2 cookies without replacing. Underline those words. Without replace. I'm not replacing. So I have 2 different cookies. Cookie number 1. And then I have cookie number 2. Okay, let's talk about those 2. What is the probability that she chooses a sugar cookie and then a monster? So I want this one to be a sugar, and I want this one to be a monster. All right. What's the chances of me choosing a sugar cookie?
4
No.
out of 6.
Sugar cookie?
28.
6 out of 28. There's 6 sugar cookies out of 28.
Yeah, but we're
Okay?
taking them out. We're taking 2.
Now hold on. After we've chosen the sugar cookie, how many cookies are left?
5 out of 27.
There's 27 cookies left. How many of them are monster? 5, right?
Yeah.
5 out of 27. Now what do I do with those 2 things? Multiply them together, because you multiply when there's 2 or more. Multiply equals 2 events. If I was only choosing 1 cookie, I would add those together. Add equals 1 event. So if I was only choosing 1 cookie, then I would add those 2 probabilities together. But here I'm choosing 2 cookies, so I'm multiplying them, okay? All right. Now before I multiply, one of these reduces. 6 and 28 reduces. This would be 3 and 14 if I divide by 2. Okay, but, oh man, also 3 and 27 reduce. 1 and 9, I can cross reduce like that, right? Anything else reduce?
No.
I don't think so. So I take 1 times 5, which is 5, and I take 14 times 9. I think it's 126. It would be 90 times, or 90 plus 36.
126.
Yep, 126. So 5 out of 126 is my chances of that happening. That's not very good chances, right? Okay, but when you think about it, like just choosing 2 cookies, the first one has to be sugar, the second one has to be monster. It's probably going to be, pretty low. All right, number 5, how do I solve for B? Oh, I left one little thing out of here. This has to be there. Okay, so that's a typo. That should be there. How do I solve for B if that's a right triangle?
I forgot.
Yeah, same.
What can you do if it's a right triangle?
Multiply them
Do I have to add up to be 100?
Nope.
Or 90?
90.
Use the Pythagorean theorem. Pythagorean theorem is
A squared plus B
a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Okay, which side is side C?
The longest side.
The big side. Okay, so side C has to be 45. From there, it doesn't matter which one I call A and B, right? Well, B is already labeled as B, but so A must be 33. So I plug 33 in for A. I leave B as B, and C becomes 45. Okay, then what?
Subtract.
Let's go ahead and figure out what 33 squared is. So what's 33 squared and what's 45 squared?
33 times 3 is 33 times 33. Is 1,089.
1089?
Yeah.
Okay. What about 45 and 45?
Is 2,025.
20, 25?
Yep.
Okay.
My graduation.
All right,
day.
then what? How do I get b by itself? Or solve for b?
Subtract.
So I'm going to subtract the 1089. Okay, minus 1089. So b squared equals whatever that comes out to be. I don't know.
936.
936. Okay, then what?
Divide by.
No?
No, I take the square root.
Take the square root. Yes, exactly. The square root of 936. I don't know. It probably doesn't come out nicely. It's a decimal, I'm sure. The square root of 936. 30.6? About 30.6. Okay, now let's check to see if that seems reasonable. I'm going to go up here. 30.6, which has to be my longest side? 45. 45 has to be longest. So if I got a number bigger than 45, I probably did it wrong, right? Okay, 30 seems about reasonable. The other one was 33, so that's fine. Okay, good. All right, number 6 says determine whether the lengths below could represent a right triangle. Okay, if it's a right triangle, it has to fit the a squared plus b squared equals c squared, right? It has to fit that way, right? Okay, which one is side C? 8. Not because it's the last one, but because it's the biggest one, right? Okay, what do you want a to be? You want a to be 5?
Yeah.
Okay, so 5 squared plus 7 squared should be 8 squared. Okay, we'll see if it is. 5 squared is 25. 7 squared is 49. Does that make 64?
No.
25 and 49 is 74. Is that equal to 64? No. So what does that mean?
No.
No.
What?
This is
It's not right
not a
triangle.
right triangle. Okay, so those 3 sides don't make a right triangle. They fit together, but they don't make a right triangle. In order to be a right triangle, it has to do a squared, b squared, c squared. Got that? Happy with that? Okay, this one's a long one, but it's not a hard one. Mean, median, mode, range. Okay, do you remember what these are? Mean is the average. Okay, the median is the middle number. Okay, the mode is the most. And the range is the biggest minus the smallest. Okay, big minus small. But before you do any of this, you have to put them in order. Now, you don't need to put them in order to find the average, and you don't necessarily need to put them in order to find the most. But for the other two, you really kind of do need to put them in order. So 2 is the first number, then 7, then 8, then 9. Okay, then I believe 13, 14, 16, and 23. Okay, all right. So I'm going to do mean, I'm going to do median, mode, and range. Okay, let's do the mode first. What number appears the most?
All of them.
All of them. So what do we put?
No mode.
No mode. I'm going to put none. Okay, don't put 0 because 0 could be a number in your data set, right? So we don't put 0, we put none. Or you can do a circle with a line through it. That would be fine too. Okay, the range is the biggest number minus the smallest number.
21.
23 minus 2 is 21. Perfect. Okay, the median is the middle number. All right, how many numbers do I have?
8.
8. So you're going to not have a middle number, right? What are your 2 middle numbers?
19 or 9 and 13.
9 and 13. Okay, so how do I find the middle of
Add them
those?
together and divide by
Yeah, you're going to find the average of 9 and 13. So 9 plus 13 divided by 2 is like 22 divided by 2. So 11, I think, is the middle number. Even though it's not technically a number in my data set, that's still the median. All right, now the mean is adding them all up and dividing by
8.
8. So whatever divided by 8. Does anybody have that?
11.5.
11.5 is what he got. So 92 is what you got when you added them together? I think.
I think 93.
93? I don't know.
It was 92.
Was it 92? 11.5 is the mean.
I still remember what Mrs. Karina said about the mean. The mean math teacher took the average of something.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
The average of the grades.
always goes in the
I heard this one. This is the riddle that I heard. It's hey diddle diddle. The median is the middle. You add and divide for the mean. The mode is the one that appears the most, and the range is the difference between.
I could never remember that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Hey diddle diddle. All right, so that one was a long one. It takes a while to do, but it's not terribly hard. You know how to do all that stuff. All right, now we're into chapter 1. Chapter 1 is solving. Okay. All right,
Can you
remember
have
your
the
order of
chapter?
operations. What?
Can you have the chapter titles on the test?
No, because they won't go in order. It'll just be all over the place. But you get to use this packet on your test. So you'll have the exact same problems to know what to do. Okay?
Can you not
All right.
trick us, please?
What?
Can you not give any trick questions?
There's no tricks. It's all the same. We just figure out numbers. There's no tricks. All right, number 8, order of operations. What are you doing first?
Parentheses.
The parentheses. Okay, what about the parentheses?
Times 3.
You're going to multiply the 5 through? Is that what you're doing?
Yes.
Okay, so 15x
Minus 20.
minus 20 minus 12 equals 73. Okay, then what?
Check if it's. I don't know.
What?
Oh, negative
No,
20
move
minus
everything over.
12.
Negative 20 minus 12. I'm going to put those together first before I move anything over. That is negative 32.
Now we are going to
Negative
add
32.
32 over.
So add the 32 over. Got it. Okay, plus 32 plus 32. So 15x equals maybe 105. I don't know if I did that right.
Should be. Yeah, it is.
And let's divide by 15. 105 divided by 15, I think, is 7. Yeah. Perfect. So x came out nicely. Okay, good. Now, on this one, you could check your answer by plugging 7 back in if you wanted to. And in fact, I would do that, but we're not going to do it right now. Okay?
Solving.
Number 9, solve and graph. This is an inequality. So here's my little not equal to symbol. It's greater than. Okay? Subtract the 3. This is just normal math. 3x is greater than 12. And then divide by 3. X is going to be greater than 4. Perfect. Okay? How do I graph that?
So you do 4 dashes, or
I'm just going to put 4 in the middle. You can put 4 wherever you want to.
okay.
I just put it in the middle.
You do an open circle.
Open circle.
Yes.
Okay? And it's going to the
Right.
right. It's the numbers that are bigger than 4. Okay? So 5 or 6 or 7 or whatever, right? Okay, a couple things. How do you know when it's an open or closed circle?
A closed circle is equal.
Is equal to.
This is when you have a open circle. Okay? If you have this going on, you have a closed circle, right? Got it?
Equal.
Okay. Oh, closed circle. Blah, 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 blah. I didn't fill it in.
Wait.
Okay, and one more thing.
Pause. Let me write that down.
Okay.
Just so I know.
It looks like I'm just making a bunch of little smiley faces, sideways. But whatever.
It does.
One more thing. There's something funky that happens when we're solving for these, and it has to do with flipping the sign. When do you flip the sign?
When it's a negative.
Yeah, when you are
multiplying or dividing.
multiplying or dividing by a negative. Okay, so don't forget that. We didn't do that here, but sometimes you might encounter that. So where you have to multiply or divide by a negative, so be careful. And there is that. Okay, good. Moving on. Number 10, find the slope of the line that passes through 8, 2, and 2, 8. How do you find slope? What symbol do we use for slope, by the way?
M.
M, okay. How do you find M?
You take the y.
There's a formula. Yeah.
And the y and subtract.
The y and the y and subtract them. So it's y2 minus y1, yeah, over
X2 minus
x2 minus x1. You remember doing that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so what's your second y coordinate?
8.
8, and you're going to subtract
8. No, 2.
2. 8 minus 2, and then we have on the bottom 2 minus 8. Okay, so 8 minus 2 is 6, and 2 minus 8 is negative 6. So what's the slope going to be? Negative 1. He has a negative 1 as its slope. Okay. All right. Okay, now we're going to do that same process again for this next one, but they want the entire equation of the line, right? in slope-intercept form. What's slope-intercept form, by the way?
Y equals mx plus b.
Y equals mx plus b. Okay, so we're going to do the same process again to find m. Okay, if you want to write the m down, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, let's find m. Okay, all right, so here, my m, what's your second y coordinate?
9.
9 minus
Minus
6 over
3 minus 2.
3 minus 2. Okay, 9 minus 6 is 3,
over 1.
and 3 minus 2 is 1, so the slope is 3, okay? So that's what m is. So I'm going to write what I have now. I have y equals 3x plus b. What's the last thing I have to solve for?
Y-intercept.
I have to solve for the y-intercept. I have to find b, right? How do you find the b?
Oh, I forgot.
Where it is on the y-axis.
Yeah, but I don't want to have to graph it. I want to find this b. The other two variables I have are y and x. Do I know what y and x are? I know what two y's and x's are.
Oh, yeah, put 'em back.
I got this one or this one. You pick one.
Put
Which one would you like to plug in?
2 and 6.
2, 6. Okay, sure. 2, 6. So that means we plug 2 in for x and 6 in for y, right? And then I just find b. I could plug either one in I want to. It doesn't matter. So 6 equals, what's 3 times 2? 6 plus b. Okay, that's weird. I'm going to
So now
subtract the
we-
6 over. So b equals
0.
0.
So it's just y equals 3x.
So I have y equals 3x plus 0, or just y equals 3x. You can do that. Okay? All right, if you were to graph that, because we'll do that later on down below, you would start at 0 and go up 3 over 1, up 3 over 1, so your line would look like this, right? That's how that works, okay? So just refreshing our brains that this is linear functions. This is how lines work. Got it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, 12. It's getting a little bit harder each time we go through. Write the equation of the line that is perpendicular to this, okay? All right, let's talk about what perpendicular is, and then I'm also going to put on here what parallel is, because on the test I might ask you for parallel instead of perpendicular, because parallel is actually easier, okay?
Oh, I forgot. How
Okay.
to use-
If two lines are perpendicular, what will they look like?
They're gonna intersect.
They're going to intersect, right, at a 90-degree angle,
Yeah.
right? What's special about them, about their equations?
They have the exact same.
Nope, that's parallel.
The exact
Oh, right, they have the exact.
Negative reciprocal slope, okay? Their slopes will be negative reciprocals. So you flip them and you make them opposite sign, right? If the two lines are parallel, they will have exactly the same slope, right? Two lines that are parallel go like this, so they're going up and over at the same degree. Perpendicular is going to look like this, okay? All right,
Hold on.
so, okay, you're fine. I will pause.
It's 32 degrees outside.
Mm.
And it's really windy.
All right, so for number 12, they give me this equation, okay? And that's my original equation, and I want to know what the original slope is. So what's the original m? What's the m of that thing? Is 1/3. M of this original is 1/3. What do I want my new m to be if I want it to be
Just-
perpendicular?
Just -3.
-3, right? You have to flip it, which becomes 3, and it has to be negative. So I want to use an m that's 3, right? So I'm going to do y equals -3x plus what?
Minus plus 8.
Wait, what?
When do you use this -8?
You don't.
You
What
don't.
does that say?
You don't. M original and M new. Like, what was the original slope? What was the new slope that I'm wanting? Okay, you don't use the 8, so it's going to be plus B. I have to find the new B, right? Okay, you don't use the old B. You use the new B. The only thing you use from the old one is the slope, okay?
Wait,
How do I find the new B?
Wait,
Use the
pause.
What?
Why do we have a -3 as a new slope?
Because I want the
it's a
negative reciprocal. 1/3, the negative reciprocal of 1/3 is flipping it and making it negative. So it's -3. Okay, good question, that's fine. How do I find the new B? plug in negative 3, 5. Okay, so 5 goes in for y, and negative 3 goes in for x. Okay. All right, this is 5 equals negative 3 times negative 3 is 9 plus b. All right, then subtract the 9. So b is negative 4. So final answer. The perpendicular line will be y equals
Negative 3x.
negative 3x
Minus.
minus 4. Perfect. There we go.
Oh.
Ruh-roh. Oh, we're running out of bat. My bat's running out. It's going to be fine. All right, we got to do one more. Right? Slope intercept form. We'll do as many as we can until we get to, like, my battery dies. How low is my battery? Your Mac will go to sleep.
Wait,
8%. Oh, we got lots of time.
which
13.
one- can you
What?
back up?
Yep.
So, which one's parallel and which one's perpendicular?
Parallel means that they have the same slope. So the slope was 1/3. My 1/3.
Oh, so
My new slope would be 1/3. Since they said perpendicular, instead of using 1/3, I'm going to use negative 3 instead. Okay. But if they would have said parallel, I would just do 1/3 and then find the new b. Does that help?
So if it's perpendicular, yeah. If it's parallel, do you also have to find a new b?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep. You throw the old b out and you find the new b with the point. Okay. All right. 13. Write this in slope intercept form. What's slope intercept form again?
Y equals
Y equals
mx plus b.
mx plus b. Okay, now this is an inequality, so we're just going to keep that symbol in there. It's not going to be equals instead, or it's going to be a greater than symbol instead. So basically, we have to get the y by itself, right? I want to get this y by itself. So what are you going to move first? Yep, let's subtract the 6x over, okay? So negative 2y, make sure the negative stays on the y, is greater than,
Negative 6x plus.
yep, we usually put the x first, so negative 6x plus 8, perfect.
And
Okay.
Divide by negative 2.
Divide by
So
negative
flip
2.
the sign.
Yes, there you go. Flip the
So
sign. Y is going to be less than 3x
plus 4. No, negative.
minus 4, because 8 and negative 2 makes minus 4. Okay, so now this is ready to go. Okay, I'm going to put a little star that says flip sign. When times, oh, I know we wrote it above, but I'm going to write it here as well. Flip sign when multiplier divided by a negative, just as a reminder. Okay? All right, let's graph y is less than 3x minus 4. So how do I graph that over here?
Go to
Y is less than,
4 and do a dot.
go to minus 4 and do a dot. Okay, and
Then go
3 is my slope.
3 and over 1.
Up 3 over 1, up 3 over 1, up 3, oh, I didn't go up 3 over 1. 3 over 1, up 3 over 1, like that.
And you can go down 3 over 1.
Yep, you can go down 3 over 1. Okay, now one more thing that's really important. The equation was y is, was it less than? Less than 3x minus 4.
Dash.
Okay, that's what we had. Okay, it has to be what? Dotted. It has to be a dotted or dashed line, right? Because it's not equal to, okay? And one more thing.
It's going to be shaded above. No, below.
Below, less than, okay? So I'm going to put star, shade. This is going to be a shade problem because you have to, less than or greater than, you have to shade. Okay, happy with that?
Yes, but
All right.
If it's equal, it's
If it's equal to, it's going to be a solid line, but you're still going to have to shade. Okay, good? All right, should we try to do the next two and just get ahead of the game? Substitution. Substitution. All right, when we're substituting, we have to get one of the variables by itself, and I have 4 options. I can solve for this, 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 or this. Which one do you want to do?
X.
X on the bottom, because he's the only one that doesn't have a number. Okay, so how do I solve that for that X?
Get x by itself.
Get the X by itself, right? So X equals, if I kick that 4y to the other side,
negative 4y.
negative 4y plus 2. Okay, so that's what X equals. I've solved for him. Now I have to substitute, right? Where do I put negative 4y plus 2 in?
For x.
For X in the top, right? Okay, so I have 2, and instead of X, I'm putting that junk, right? Negative 4y plus 2. And then I've got to finish the rest of it, so minus 7y equals 49. Are we doing okay so far? Yep. Okay, now what?
Negative 8y plus 4 minus 7y equals 49.
Yep, that sounds good. Okay.
Combine negative 8.
Negative 8 and negative 7 makes
Negative 15.
negative 15y plus 4 equals 49. Okay, then
minus 4.
minus 4. Are we doing okay so far?
Yep.
Negative 15. Y. Okay.
Wait a second. What's going on?
Equals 45.
Mm-hmm. All right. We'll let you catch. We just combined the 8 and the 7 to make negative 15. Okay. All right. Then let's divide by our
Negative 3.
negative 15. Yep. Y equals negative 3. Okay. Not done yet. I want to solve for x as well. So I have to plug back in somewhere. Where would you like to plug in?
Plug it in the second one.
I'm going to plug in this one. Right here.
Wait, what?
Right? I'm going to plug in right there because that's technically the second equation, but it's solved for, right? So I'm going to plug y into there. X equals negative 4 times y plus 2, right? And y is negative 3. Okay. You can plug it in wherever you want to.
Equals 12 plus 2.
12 plus 2, and x is 14. All right, how are you going to write your answer?
Okay, now we're going to do negative 3.
X comma y is a coordinate point, right? Okay, now, why do I care about 14, negative 3? What's special about 14, negative 3?
Where it intersects.
Yeah, these are two lines, right? Those are two linear functions, and they're going to intersect at 14, negative 3. Perfect. Okay, that was substitution. I like elimination. This is my favorite. Elimination. I want to eliminate a variable. This is the last one that we'll do. Okay, which variable would you like to eliminate, x or y?
Y.
One of them's easier. Okay, y. All right, 5y and 5y does not eliminate right now because they're both positive 5y's.
We can
Multiply
change
the
it.
top by negative 1.
Sure, let's multiply the top by negative 1. You can multiply the bottom by a negative 1 if you want to, but the top is easier. So I'm going to multiply by negative 1 for that, okay?
Negative 4x.
Negative 4x
Minus.
minus 5y equals negative 41, okay? The bottom equation I'm not going to touch. I'm just going to leave it 7x plus 5y equals 54, or 53, okay? And I'm going to add those together.
But we're going to cross the 5's out.
The 5's cancel out, okay? How many x's will you have?
2.
3.
Y.
Negative 4 and 7 is 3.
How'd you get a negative 5?
Oh!
We distributed a negative 1 through. Yeah?
We multiplied the top equation by a negative.
By negative 1.
To change it to negative so they would cancel out.
Okay, what's negative 41 and 53 make?
That's
12. Okay? And the last thing, so I have 3x equals 12 because the y is gone. Let's divide by 3. So x is going to be 4, yeah. Okay, now I have to plug back in. Which equation would you like to plug into?
The first one.
None of them are really very nice, so let's plug into the first one. 4 times x plus 5y equals 41. Okay, now we got to finish solving. What's 4 times 4? 16. All right, now to solve for y,
Y equals 41.
Yep.
Minus 16.
let's minus the 16. 41 minus 16 is
25.
25, and we divide by 5, and that is 5. Okay, so I'm going to write my answer as
4, 5.
4, 5, and why do I care about that point?
Can you go back?
That's where they intersect.
That's where they intersect. Yep, that's where they cross. If I need to zoom out, are we good? Okay, perfect. We got a little bit more than what we needed to do today. That was exciting. Okay. Good, good, good. We got like a whole page done, front and back. Perfect. All right, goodbye people watching this video.